All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, let's get ready to podcast. My name is Jeff Stein, and with me, Mike Boyle and Ivan Rivera.
And the crowd goes wild.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Okay, I thought it would be more exciting with some music. Okay.
No, it's okay. I've been working on voice resonance lately.
Oh, okay.
Sibilance, Mayor McCheese.
That's not what I mean. I'm looking to try to get deeper to get that.
Explosion.
I was trying to get deeper. More than your guys were trying.
More voice.
Not
bass
diction, not the
bass in your voice. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah.
I want to be
Resonance.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like that.
No flirt.
I want to see like there. I broke.
He wants to be Barry White.
Ooh. Hey, welcome everyone. Episode 150.
150.
Kaboing.
Wow, we got that far?
Friend. Yep.
Yeah,
just got a Mad magazine and the noises that you hear in your head. Fuzzong.
Yep.
Boing. Yeah, indeed.
So how we all doing? How's everyone's weekend?
I killed some stormtroopers.
Yay!
Couple Dark Jedi.
Oh, that's right. It was that episode I was going to do. Okay, never mind. So yeah, you were playing some Star Wars role playing.
I did some role playing over the weekend. Although I'll be honest, sometimes playing over Zoom, not Zoom. Well, it's not Zoom. It's Discord. That's the first problem. Is it's Discord, and then you're using the Roll20 thing. We were using Roll20.net. Which is free. I mean, look, it's free. It's easy to use, but because
you get what you pay for, and when it's free.
Well, and the other thing is because it's a group, it's a larger group. You know, depending on what module gets run, sometimes multiple modules get run, so therefore you're not always necessarily playing with the same people, which is sometimes good, and sometimes it's not. So unfortunately, there were a couple of quote unquote tables over the weekend where I was just like, what the hell are you doing?
You okay, Ivan?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just getting me some water.
Okay.
Oh.
He's taking on water. Sploosh, splish, splash. He's splashing the splash.
Yeah. So
stay hydrated. So how's what was the gaming with?
So there were a couple games where it wasn't as cool as I would like it to be, but not too bad. And did a little bit of grilling over the weekend, and honestly, just kind of wished it was a little bit nicer.
Well, there's no rain, so that's good.
Yeah, but it's Memorial Day weekend. You're hoping it's a little bit warmer than than like low 60s and stuff like that. It's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, we set up with the canopy in the backyard and still didn't really need it because it wasn't warm. And then when the sun came, it was yesterday, it was Sunday, was when it got cloudy and it just got cold and everyone just had to grab their jackets.
Yeah, no, it's like we're in June, we're starting June here. I'd like it to actually be like June, not like this bullshit shit.
Bullshit shit. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a technical term.
Okay. But then, I'm educated, so, such things are unknown to me.
I guess. What about you guys? Did you guys do anything interesting or anything good?
Well, I saw a buddy of mine, was it Thursday night? And he's good. We hadn't seen him. I saw him, what was it, 3 months ago or whatever? And we were telling our vaccination stories about how we finally got our shots and all that. And we watched Gotham by Gaslight. It was a DC animated film from 2017. So
Okay.
I was telling them about the Justice Society, World War II, and like, let's try another one. So go on HBO Max, and we're like, I haven't seen that one yet. So I watched this Gotham by Gaslight, obviously based on a book, but it takes place in Gotham City in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it deals with Batman trying to find out who Jack the Ripper is. And there's some good moments with him being detective, and that's what we like to see in Batman, not just always pow, punch, kick. But there was
okay. It just sounds a whole lot like Sherlock Holmes in that respect.
well, Batman is, that's one of his monikers. The world's greatest detective.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean,
but why is it they always zero in when it comes to that type of period piece to Jack the Ripper? Weren't there any other criminals?
Well, obviously, but I mean, this he's the most famous of the time period.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me see. How about Lizzie Borden? I mean, that was a case that never got solved. Really, that would have been worth some ink and some.
Well, Batman versus Lizzie Borden doesn't make a good comic cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you got Lizzie Borden sitting there, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 40 whags. When she was done, gave her mother 41.
Right.
Okay.
But I never heard that rhyme. But anyway, it was okay. I liked it better than World War II. It was a good story. And of course, I won't reveal who Jack the Ripper is, but it was good. I liked it. It was an interesting take. I don't know.
So they don't go with like a real Jack the Ripper. They basically make a DC universe kind of thing.
It's one of those multiverse kind of things where one of the characters is Jack the Ripper. It was good.
Was he more criminal, or was he just over the top pervy, deranged? I mean, can we get some character built on this?
Sort of like a zealot, like seeing the obviously killing all these women.
Because I remember in the original Jack the Ripper story, I guess all those women reminded him of his mother. I guess his mother, he was born of
it wasn't mommy issues. It was just some other kind of like there's some self-hating, some womanizing, like misogynistic kind of thing.
Well, yeah, the reason why Jack the Ripper, killed all these women was because his mother was a prostitute. He was born out of prostitution, and of course, was abandoned and all that type of jazz.
Yeah.
And just went out and did his thing, because of that. So, according to, sources from the time I read about it, these things could have changed over time, or even whole new information might have been realized by this point.
Yeah.
Wow, Ivan had sources back then?
Wow, nice. Neato. What else? Set up, getting measurements and getting ready to purchase the lumber for my display for Unicron. That's going to cost some money. So get some ply. Finding plywood is like, there's this picture of a guy with a fully loaded lumber truck, and caption reads, "I just met a millionaire."
Yeah. You don't send out your team of beavers to look for the yellow wood. The one that if it doesn't have the yellow tag, you don't want it.
What?
Huh?
What was that? I don't understand.
Okay. Let me back it up a minute. There is a commercial running for yellow tag lumber, and it's a bunch of beavers, in assault gear, going to neighborhood places looking for lumber for their dams. And the tagline in the commercial is, if it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Well, the beavers go ahead and they find this load of lumber, and there was no tag, and one of them yells out, "Abort, abort," and then they all just kind of scatter back to, wherever it is they had their dam.
It's the Yellowwood TV commercial.
Right. Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this tag, you don't want it.
Not Yellowwood. It's Yellowwood, not yellow tag. But I see that.
Yellowwood, corruption of yellow. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it's a scurrying beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of beavers.
Is the beaver kind of wild looking, or is it trimmed? I mean, how's it? Is the hair in good place?
Well, the beavers all seem like they're very well kept for beavers. And it's just, you had one had some flying gear that actually had wings that flew over all the other beavers, in recon, they had a bunch of stuff. Looked like something out of Apocalypse Now, that type of thing.
So they're pretty hardcore, like combat beavers.
There's combat beavers, exactly.
High capacity assault beavers.
Yes, high capacity assault. Well, check out the commercial. It's all there.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
That might be the name of our episode for 150, high capacity assault beavers.
Yeah.
No, that probably won't get past the censors. What am I saying?
Why not? High capacity assault beavers? I think that's kind of a neat name. I like that. Let's do that. Yeah.
Nice beaver.
Yeah.
I
just had it stuffed. Yeah.
What else? I forgot to watch this week's episode of Bad Batch. I liked episode 3. What else? Finished Mass Effect 1, and it's gonna be a while. I gotta put that down. That's a huge time sink. I mean, like, I put the game in 1 hour, it becomes 3. So it's really immersive, and with all 3 games and hundreds and hundreds of hours at my disposal, like, I remember why I don't game anymore, because it's just like, I have things to do other than sit and
play games.
Just save the galaxy over and over.
You're not gonna sit on YouTube and put a tip jar and see people pay you for that shit?
Well, yeah, you can also do that on Twitch, because you ought to see the manics that are on there for 10, 12.
Video gaming, like, people game for 12 hours. Like, hit my tip jar, hit my Patreon, hit my PayPal.
I haven't figured that out. Why is it that people really want to...
I know. I don't
get it.
I go see my buddy. I go see my buddy, and his son watches. If he's not playing Minecraft, he's watching Minecraft videos of other people buying. And these you-poopers, they're really into it. They get into it, and these grown adults saying, "Whoa, I found a diamond piece! Whoa, hey, chick!" They're really playing it up for their audience.
Oh well, they
puke or bullshit. But it's they'd rather watch people game rather than play the game themselves.
Well, you get the people down on Twitch, again, the marathoners who, when I DJ, they'll actually take the soundtrack that I'm DJing and add it to the game that they're involved in. And it's really quite wild that these people actually live pretty much vicariously through the game. And
people have taken your audio?
Yes.
Whoa.
While I'm live, and add it to their game.
Wow.
Okay.
And then here's the other crazy thing too. I mean, it's like, here, the tip jar is out, per kill. It's like, if I kill this many people, well, whatever. I mean, they just go. They got different ways they go about it. So it's just amusing that here it is. They allow all of the stuff that on Twitch, the gaming, and of course now Facebook has jumped on that train too now.
Yeah, I see those live. Like, I'll watch a video on Facebook through the app, and you'll see like a live stream of someone playing some video game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, again, but yet they can't get the DJs to do the same thing. That's the thing that baffles me.
That's crazy.
But,
okay. I mean, the only thing that I've ever really found interesting was, like, for example, like, if you've got, like, I think I saw where, like, there were some NFL players that basically played, like, Madden, that year's Madden, and they basically played, like, the AFC versus the NFC, and they were playing. But, like, those are, like, big-time players,
Well, it's like fantasy football, except now you got video.
Yeah, well, not exactly, because, I mean, they're running the teams and stuff like that, and they're playing, and then, but again, we're talking about multi-million-dollar athletes playing football on.
Well, I mean, it's that high too of being mentioned in their chat. I'm going to watch this football player. I'm a big football fan. I'm going to watch this football player play Madden, and I'm going to mention something, and maybe he'll mention me in the chat. And people get
that rush. Kaepernick mentioned my name. Wow, you're like, okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You know, to be part. You know, interact with your fans,
which is cool because I think that's the idea.
Yeah, that interactive thing.
I just think it's hysterical because back in the day, like back in the day, when Mike and I were around and video games first started, like if you were on like a console or something like that for more than a couple of hours, your parents basically walked into the room and basically yanked that thing from the wall and told you it's like time to go outside.
And it was the one thing was the cultural shorthand where every gaming console became Nintendo. Like, turn off that dang Nintendo.
Right. They just kind of lumped it into one big well.
I haven't owned a Nintendo system in years because I'm playing Mass Effect through the PS4.
A lot of people haven't owned a Nintendo for years.
Well, I don't have the Switch. I don't have the portable. Yeah, the Switch is a portable system.
Hey. You're playing the Atari and you'll love it.
Yeah, I had around the same time the Atari came out, I had the Commodore VIC-20. Before the Commodore 64, I had the VIC-20.
64, Commodore 64.
My friend had the Commodore 64.
Boop, boop, boop.
I even have, I never had the 2600. I did have like the Bally's first thing that was like lame as hell.
We also had ColecoVision, which had Pong and like 2 or 3 other games which were dumb.
I had ColecoVision. ColecoVision was good for sports. ColecoVision was good for sports, and I can't remember what else they had that was good. The other thing was I had the Atari adapter, so I could play anything Atari I wanted to too.
That's what you got to Ivan on Twitch and have him play Pong against somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go ahead and get my points. Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Bloop. How long can I stay on Twitch playing Pong? Let's see what the Guinness Book of World Records would say for that.
Probably a couple of days.
Longest Pong game.
Longest game of Pong ever. I don't know.
I don't even think you'd last that long. I think you'd lose quickly.
Nah, I wouldn't. I would too.
I think if we got a real YouTube gamer guy, I think Ivan would be done in like.
Oh, I'd be done in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm totally useless when it comes to video games. I'll be honest. I don't know if it's because I can't wrap myself around the how to do the controlling, the hand-to-eye coordination, or I don't know. I don't think my brain is built for it.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be like the controllers were so simple. Now it's like there's a button everywhere. It's like,
now there's
what am I doing?
20 buttons on the.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting if you're like one of those keyboard dudes that have the.
Then you have the one with the joystick. Then you have the one with the joystick.
Well, yeah. I remember that my next door neighbor had Atari 2600, so it had like just the one button and the joystick.
And now they got the 20, for
now there's the ergonomic
crowd.
ones where you hold it with both hands, and there's the 4 triggers and the 4 on the right and the D-pad and the 2 motion control sticks and select start. Yeah, it's certainly a different game.
That's
literally.
what I blame Nintendo for. Nintendo
run and jump and piss and shit and fart and all kinds of things they got going in there now.
Yeah.
Although, in fairness, Coleco had controllers that were specifically more kind of like for like sports games, and I remember them because like they were big, they were huge. You could like really hurt someone with one of those things, okay? Because you wrapped it around. You basically wrapped. It was a grip. And over the grip, there was a thing there, and there were like multiple colors of different buttons that you could hit, and then there was the controller on the top, and I think there was a keypad as well. But like I remember we'd play baseball, and like each color was a different type of pitch, and it was funny because it was like you could press like 2 different color buttons at the same time and like move the joystick around, and it would do all kinds of crazy.
Like a curveball?
Yeah, no. It would be like if you took like a curveball and mixed it with like a knuckleball, and then you like moved it around all over the place. So some sort of crazy.
Like out of Looney Tunes, man.
Right. I don't know why. Right. It was fun though. I remember because like everybody would be like, "Damn it, stop throwing that weird pitch." And I'd be like,
And then you had the Wii, which was
See, that's bullshit.
People throwing their Wiis into the televisions.
Yeah.
See, this is when I had a problem with Nintendo, which is, oh, we're gonna make it so you do things, and I'm like, wait, I'm confused. Why am I getting exercise while I'm playing?
No.
This is hard work.
I can't eat my chips and sit. I gotta stand up and bowl like I'm bowling.
Yeah, like.
I gotta go ahead and swing a tennis racket for real. I gotta swing a bat for real. I gotta hold a gun for real.
Yeah, I gotta stand up and do this for 30 minutes. What the fuck? No.
I'll go outside and do that shit for real. Why if I want to do that?
Exactly. What are we doing here? It's like I'm playing Madden. You gotta like use the sticks and you gotta you're running, and it's like, if I wanted to really run, I'd just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean.
Then they had the drive. Damn it, the drive controller, and you're driving, and it's like you bump into things, the wheel starts to vibrate, and you're just like, dang.
The worst part about the Wii is, then somebody started doing it and losing weight, and then it was like, oh, well, you don't have to work out. We'll just get a Wii. And like the whole family, now it's like the whole family wants to play, and you're just like, I just wanted to play some fucking Madden.
Yeah, and believe it or not, we got kind of swept up in that for a while.
Oh, I'm sure you did. You had a daughter. Of course you had.
So here it is. You got the 30 emoji looking type characters on the screen with no connecting parts, like little balls for hands and little head and things supposed to represent a dress. And on this little pad, and of course set to music, and you jump up and down on this little square, you're like,
oh yeah, the dance stuff.
Dance Revolution, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is too much like the real thing. Oh, that's right, because it's supposed to represent the real thing.
It's one thing like when you're in the it's one thing when you're like in the arcade or at Dave and Buster's, okay? And it's like, all right, there's a lot of people here, and it's like there's one of two reactions you have here. Either A, I'm a good dancer and I might be able to get a couple chicks who are here, or B, I'm really drunk, and this is gonna go badly. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You forgot number 3, and if I'm really inept and find myself not being able to do any of it.
I was going there next, which was number or C. I just suck, and you know what? I
don't care.
Have a good time. I have a good time, and so be it.
It's how like in the old days, like when the carnival would come to town, you swing the hammer and you try and ring the bell,
Yeah, that's exactly what Dance Revolution was in like Dave & Buster's and stuff like that. Yeah.
Trying to throw the ball at the little dolls up on the shelf that are all fixed because of the fact that you think you're actually hitting something when you're actually hitting nothing. All those games are fixed.
Except for the coin thing. I figured out how to do the coin thing.
Oh, the one where you drop the quarter on the bottom of the glass that are stacked up?
Yeah. So the trick is that, and it's real, it's funny, because after a while, they made it more difficult, but for a while I was doing really, really well until they started, like, making it harder. If you go and you hit the top of the ceiling, and then it comes straight down and it deadens, it won't slide. The trick is, now they put all those freaking stuffed animals around there, so there's no way you can get a direct path to go up.
Right.
Necessarily.
Yeah, they fixed it.
They fixed it.
They fixed all the carnival games. I mean, all those carnival games were fixed. I mean, the trick to the little dolls on the shelf is a lot of people are trying to hit them dead center. There's a particular part of the doll you have to hit in order for it to, knock it off the shelf. And then you have, just like there's but like Great
Great America, they fixed that little problem real fast. But like at the regular carnivals or like the state fairs and stuff like that, oh yeah. I get like they still haven't fixed it at those. Those you could sit there and go like, okay, I just gotta hit the top of the thing. You know, the trick is just, did I throw it hard enough to hit the top, and then did I throw it far enough that it's gonna come down and dead it on the tray, and then you get the big huge honking thing.
Then the other one was filling the duck's mouth so it goes up this this channel before it hits a light and it rings. But the thing is, you're trying to pour water into a mouth that's continually moving, so it's kind of a unless you're a dead shot, that's kind of hard to do. You know.
Mm.
You know, I don't know. Should we? At some point in life, I do wonder. It's like, what would it have been like to have been at Carney?
See the world.
Well, there's a movie with Gary Busey called Carney.
Yeah, that's a movie. I mean,
yeah, but I'm saying, but it makes for an interesting view on that whole Carney life, because a lot of times, according to the movie, you have a bunch of miscreants and never-do-wells and everything all gathered around. You know, you have them at the Carney and everything. You know, you have all these images, many of them probably very disturbing and totally politically correct.
I'm the bearded lady. What are you, one of the freaks?
You know, you have Gary Busey looking at the crowd. Oh boy, here they come again.
Gary Busey he does look like Carney. It was perfect casting.
It was perfect for the moment. Look at him. He's got an arm like a sausage. Look at him go. He can't bite me. He can't get me. He can't get me. No, he can't.
It's just crazy because it's like the grift is always on when you're a Carney, supposedly. So it's like... yeah, so...
and our speaking of local entertainment, our local skating rink burned down.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it made Chicago news, and they're suspecting foul play.
Of course, it's an insurance fire. It's arson.
Yeah.
Was it a duck or was it a geese or what kind of foul?
It was they're suspecting foul play. Yeah, rank. Yeah, they call Affleck.
It's the goose.
Yeah. And funny is, I hadn't skated there in like 15 years. And then, of course, last year was closed. They tried to reopen it, but...
Are we talking ice skating or are we talking
roller skating? Roller skating rink. Yeah.
Wow, you guys still have a roller skating rink?
Not anymore.
Not where Mike is at. But I don't think it's as big. It's not as nearly as big as it once was. I remember going to
the pub. Shocked.
Yeah. Well, because in the 1980s, I used to go to the Hub on Harlem Avenue, which was next to the Maurice Linnell Cookie Company, which is now also gone. And just, spent a good...
I wonder if that's something that at some point would make a comeback.
Maurice Linnell?
No, the whole disco roller rink kind of thing. You'd think that would make a comeback somehow.
Well, they tried to bring it back with roller blades, like inline skating.
Well,
that loses all of its...
Well, there was a movie called Roller Bounce that actually spoke about the whole
Was Gary Busey in that too?
No, he wasn't actually. But no. It talked about the experiences about the time when I used to go roller skating. And the thing about it is, on the south side of Chicago, it's still very popular.
Even now?
In fact, even now that you got people still, skating. I don't know if there's like as big roller rinks as like the ones I used to know, like the Hub and the Axle and the Rainbow, which I also went on Lawrence Avenue there, and Clark, which that before it was it was the Kinetic Playground where it was a teen dance club in the 60s. That's a whole nother story.
I just think it's with all the stuff where we're trying to create new entertainment venues and new different ways and all that kind of stuff. I'm just surprised that hasn't come back as a retro thing someplace and hasn't become a thing again, like that roller disco kind of thing.
Well,
it seemed like it would lend itself, especially to like today, where it's like people are looking for something new or different or crazy, then it's not like, okay, I'm going to hit the club. Okay, well, here's something a little different.
Well, yeah, you go ahead to a roller disco, and disc jockey playing all the old disco tunes. Looks just like a disco. Of course, they're serving drinks now because it's adults,
right?
And of course you got the obnoxious skate guy, trying to put you in skates that are much too big for your feet and shit like that.
Well, then you have like the skate. Like lifeguard guy who's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be doing that."
The coach or referee or whatever,
Then of course you got the guy who knows all the moves, who's there every day, and he comes out in his spandex, and he's beautiful and
he's
glittery.
Got a couple buttons popped on his collar.
That's right, and he walks in, and the theme to Kool and the Gang, da 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 da. Da, da, da. Or car wash, and he just kind of comes in and he's shooting the shoot and he's doing the
spinning and
he's doing the point, he's doing the drops, the kicks, the spins, and all of that stuff. One skate, Yeah,
I'm gonna miss that place. Even now, like I'll have if I have like a Three Musketeers and a root beer, I'm instantly like 9 years old again, and I'm at the Just for Fun roller rink. So I'm gonna miss that place. It was, like one Christmas, me and my two sisters, we all got roller skates for Christmas, and so our folks would drop us off on a Saturday, and we'd just skate all afternoon.
See, that's the part that's funny is like it's like okay, out by like Ivan and I are talking about this, but out by like Mike, it's a bunch of white cracker people just basically doing like. Okay, we're gonna go on our roller skates now.
Everybody's skating the opposite direction now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's girls only. Girls only skate. So all boys have to come off.
Then they got the 100-year-old organ guy, playing all of the melodies and things like that.
Yep.
I was going with the 80-year-old DJ who's been there since like the 70s.
Yep.
Who's been like, all right, kids, we're gonna do the hokey pokey now.
Oh, we did the hokey pokey. Oh yeah.
Hey guys, okay, this was a big hit when I was a kid.
Damn, I'm having flashbacks.
Who are these fuckers named Sticks?
Okay, it's getting dark now. That's right. Here's the midnight spin. And
did you ever go roller skating, Jeff?
No, I did. I mean, like I said, I did. I did the suburban. Like, I remember there was a place. I forgot whose gym they did. There was a place in Glenview, and I can't remember what school it was that was over there. Then on the weekends they would do like a whole big roller thing. But I remember the other ones in the city, like Ivan's talking about, where it was like really. And then there was another one. There was another one in Niles that was like over by near Golf.
Oh, I know. I remember the one. I remember the one by Niles. I don't remember the name, but
I don't remember it either. But it was huge. It was huge, and it was like.
Was it United Skates of America?
Maybe. I don't remember the name. I just know that it was right off of like Golf, and I can't remember what's the cross street over there.
But I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know I've been there a couple times. It's been years. It's not
there anymore. It has been there for decades.
Oh well, yeah, I know. We're talking a whole different time now. Just like the hub is gone. The hub is gone. It's now become, the Norwich Theater and everything else. When I went on Friday night, they would play all rock music. They would play all hard rock music, and then on Saturday they played the disco. If you wanted the 80-year-old organ guy, you went on Wednesday, and you got to listen to the organ play because
he had one hell of an organ.
Oh, he did. In fact, 240 pipes, 80 effects, running on 4 different keyboards. It was a beautiful Wurlitzer organ, and
that's why you need the whatchamacallit Beaver that we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah, the assault beaver. Yeah, to go ahead.
Yeah, that Oregon would attract a lot of beavers.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. And not only would they get their fair share of wood, man, they get a whole fair share of brass too. Yeah, there was a famous organ player that used to release records. In fact, I got an album. I think it was Ken Berry at with the Beast in the Basement. What happened was somebody had disassembled the organ at another roller rink, and he had rebuilt.
Sounds painful.
And he rebuilt the basement, the organ in the basement, and Audio Fidelity actually recorded this thing. It's amazing. But that's
people playing with their organs in the basement. Hey man,
did he play?
Makes for good brain. Yeah,
it does.
Especially when they find that combat assault beaver.
Yeah, you go when you're playing with yourself. You can play with your organ in the basement.
High capacity assault beavers.
There you go.
Did he do it into God of Vita like they did in The Simpsons?
he replaced the lyric sheet with Inagata Devita.
Have you ever seen that episode?
Exactly.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah,
that is so good, so good.
And everyone sings along.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Lovejoy after a while was like, "Wait a minute, this isn't a." And the organ lady just about died when it's over because she had to play like that thing for 16 minutes straight. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what about like? Did you guys ever do like the laser tag stuff, like the actual location places? Or?
No, I had the laser tag game. We used to friends and I. We used to go out in the neighborhood at night. And we'd dress out in black like ninjas, and we'd have the thing strapped to our chest, and
God.
we go out and shoot our laser tag back in the 80s.
Did you guys ever play? Glow in the dark bowling?
No, never did the extreme bowling. No,
I did it once.
I did extreme bowling. Yeah,
I did it once. It was funny. The stuff that Mike's talking about, we always talked about buying a whole bunch of those. And putting together teams and going down to Water Tower at late at night on a Saturday night.
Oh, that'd be cool.
we were because the building's not closed and all of the escalators and everything, all of the stores and everything are shut down by 9:00. But really in reality, it's it's still open for a couple of hours. And we always talked about we should get a whole bunch of people and play a giant game of here. And watch the security guys chase us around all over the places for basically
that's what we need. We need West Side Story, but everyone's playing laser tag instead.
Or Super Soaker.
Well, I mean, so it was funny because there was two. I don't know about you, Mike, and I'm sure Ivan may remember this. So there were two places that were kind of big, at least on the north side of town. They were very different. One was the Laser Zone, and it was a lot smaller place. It was almost like a storefront.
I remember hearing commercials for the Laser Zone.
So here's my really bad geek moment. I played on a Laser Zone team.
Nice.
Cool.
There was
Jeff, Laser Zone Warrior.
We played. So there was a league, and we played in the league, and we actually got pretty good. I mean, the only ones we couldn't beat were the guys who practically lived in the place. Those guys were just unstoppable.
Yeah, and they were expert marksmen. They knew all the hiding places.
They knew
the assault beavers,
Yeah, exactly. They definitely knew the assault beavers, without question. But yeah, we played them one night and absolutely got smoked. I mean, it was just, it was funny because we were the number 2 team at one point, and it's we gotta play them. It's all right, we got a shot, and then we start playing. We're we got no shot. The only reason I say it is because it was set up where it was there's your side and their side, you couldn't get across. Whereas there was the big giant place in Palatine called Photon. I don't know if you remember that place or not.
I remember Photon, yeah.
Photon was the game system that you played, too.
Well, so this was Photon. So basically they had multiple courses. But the thing is, you had to wear all the equipment. I mean, the equipment by itself weighed
several pounds.
Because with
like
laser
10
tag,
pounds.
go ahead.
It was like 10 pounds, but like it was all really dark, and you were technically on a team, but there were like multiple levels, and you could like run around on top and bottom, and there was like goals, and you had to hit the goal or you had to shoot the people. And I remember one time it was funny because you would hear sound effects, and sometimes you couldn't tell when you were being shot or where you were being shot from. My favorite all time was there was one time and at one point you're like your stuff goes out and then it resets. Well, there was one time I'm walking along and I'm on the upper level and I see two people like from the opposite team like right below me, and they're just standing there. There's two of them, and I'm like they don't even see where I'm at. I'm literally standing over the thing. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, I can't shoot that one anymore. Shoot the other one. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, that guy's reset. Bang, bang.
Who is shooting us? Right.
Right. They don't know who's shooting them. They can't figure it out. They're not moving at all. And I could have been there and the funny part is I could have been there for another like 5-10 minutes, except all of a sudden somebody started shooting me, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go. But yeah, I mean, I was like maybe I can't remember if we were like, I had to be in my teens. But yeah, I mean that shit was heavy too. I mean that was the problem.
Yeah. See, there were two types that were like in the retail market. There was laser tag where all you had was just like a sensor you put on your chest, or there was a hat or a helmet you could wear on your head. But with Photon, you could get hit at any part of your, you wear this like vest kind of thing that has sensors all over it, so you could get hit anywhere on your body and it would register. Like,
the equivalent of like a body armor type of thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, the sensors were on multiple angles, where with the the star sensor on your laser tag was only you able to hit it from one direction, and you could cheat and put your hand over the sensor and not get hit by the laser gun by the other team.
So when we played here, you guys will judge. So when we played at the laser zone, it was a lot easier. It was really just the head stuff and the gun. Okay, and it was like a really easy head thing, but it was and then like they had the cannon and stuff, and you could hit the goal and certain things like that. But we're on opposite sides. But it was all really light based, and it was really funny because one day we decided to do this because somebody else had done it. And we were like, we're going to do it one of these days. We're going to wait for a team that pisses us off, and we brought with us a camera that had a flash. and we hit that thing. And it was like somebody we didn't like, and we were having a bad night, and we were gonna lose. And we were like, we need a reset. We need to like get them to have to go all back to the beginning, back to their base, so we can like basically cover their asses. So somebody pull out the flash camera and knock them all out on the one side, and everybody's like, where did that come from? Who did that? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't see nothing.
The flash bulb from the camera activated their sensors?
Oh, yeah, knocked it all out. Knocked
really?
It all out.
Because of the intensity of the light.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
Knocked them all out. And there was like 5 of them. They all had to go back to like the charging area. And like we're like waiting to pick them off as they're coming out of the charging area. It was great. It was so funny.
And I take it none of you guys got involved in like whirly ball, like paintball type of thing.
No, I never played paintball. No.
Paintball, I didn't. It was funny. We went on a team building thing one time to whirly ball, but that was when I had the bad injury, and that thing kept bumping on the bumper car part of it just kept bothering the hell out of me, and it was hurting like hell. So I couldn't do it. And it was funny because my boss was literally like, looking at me like I'm some sort of wuss, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm in really bad pain. I can't do this. But,
right.
I mean, y'all are 10 years younger than I am, too, and it's like I also had a bad injury, and, like, didn't want to believe that. It was like, oh, you could tough it out. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you get hit by the paintballs and things like that, those things, they hurt.
Well, those whirly ball cars are not exactly padded well.
No. Well, they're kind of like the equivalent of like the bumper cars, like at a car.
The bumper cars have more bumper, and they have more shock absorbers.
And you're strapped in, so you don't catch as much of the impact.
Oh, you're strapped in. It don't matter. Those cars on the whirly thing are just not as durable as a bumper car. They're just not. They're not nearly as nice. It's like
but I think those were more built for speed than for safety.
Exactly. Well, right, and so they're more built for speed, and they have they're more built for speed, and they're built like they're a fucking Yugo.
My God! There's a reference for you.
Or a Pontiac Fiero or some shit like that.
Yugo. Oh my God! The aluminum engines. Oh my God! Haven't heard about those in years.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just trying to think of the best way to put it. It was literally
that's perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. That was perfect.
They're death traps. Trust me, there's certain parts of the audience going, whatever audience we have going, Yugo, what's a Yugo? Yeah, just go.
Just fast reference. Yugo was a shortly manufactured automobile that had an aluminum engine that, unfortunately, because of the heat, the engines literally melted down in them, which rendered them totally useless after so many hundreds of miles.
And they were made by Yugoslavia. It was the car from Yugoslavia.
Yeah, they were just poorly made. Those were probably the most poorly made automobiles
ever. That was Friday's car in the Dan Aykroyd Dragnet.
Is it?
Right.
Okay.
Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
I know
right.
I know there was a Cadillac dealership somewhere in the country at the time that had a promotion where if you bought a Cadillac, they would give you a Yugo because they figured that was better than giving you a spare tire.
Wow. Oh my God! Speaking of ugly cars, I don't think you guys remember the Pacers, the fish. Oh,
I do.
AMC Pacer.
Yeah, the AMC Pacer. The fishbowl on wheels.
I just remember the one from Wayne's World.
Oh my gosh! The Pacers, not only width wise were wider than most cars of the day, because you can always tell when you're parking a Pacer because half of the Pacers in the middle of the road because they were so wide. The turning ratio made it easy for those cars to tip over. It wasn't engineered very well, and the fact that all the windows that the thing had is there was no privacy. You couldn't make love in an AMC Pacer. Everybody would see what the hell you were doing. There was the Pintos with the exploding gas tanks. That was
a joke in Top Secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a Top Secret joke.
Well, that was a great movie, Val Kilmer. So and then what was it? There was the Colt, which was kind of the try to make it the Pinto better, but not by much. And then AMC had probably some of the most fuggliest cars in there.
The Gremlin?
And the Gremlin. I remember the Gremlin.
I think I had a Hot Wheels Gremlin back in the day.
Literally lemon automobiles. We've had some great automobiles in this country, but man, we've had a fair share of lemons. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So Ivan, what did you do this past week? Did you
He's got a wacky new Facebook page.
Oh yeah, you thought about I created the Rivera Record Rebels page, as I said I was going to do, and just kind of a satire, humor, let it all hang out page. Not necessarily a music page, but just shits and giggles type of page. Which so far people are engaging and just having a guffaw at one another, which that's fine. And let's see what else is there. But other than that, pretty much absolutely nothing. It's been kind of a do nothing weekend because my old injury from Deerfield has come back to haunt me. So my left arm's just been really, really sore, not doing so good. So yeah, I've been on a steady diet of gluttony and tramadols.
And bong water.
And no bondage, no green, not till top of the month, but
that's tomorrow.
That's exactly. Exactly. So 2 days from now.
Yeah, I gotta wait all the way to the beginning of the next month.
Gotta wait till the show comes out.
That's about 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, well, it also comes down to this. At least I'll be in a different state on next show anyway. But also too, I have a gig over at this salon that I'm doing. I think I mentioned this in the last show on June 6th, which I'm excited about, going out for the first time, spinning records anywhere, which is it's a big step. And we'll just see how that pans out. Money wise, the money's good. The venue is great, and just rolling right along with that. And then just going apartment shopping, which so far we've got one sort of kind of, we're going to see what's going to happen with it so far. We're seeing another one after this broadcast, be later in the week. We got an appointment to see another. So we're still looking for the place we can permanently call home and leave behind the Happiness Hotel here. Referencing the Happiness Hotel of the Muppets, for those of you who are wondering what I mean.
Oh, no, I was just thinking of the Happiness Hotel of Logan Square, and just thinking about,
Oh, yeah. Well, the Happiness Hotel, yeah, the one I'm referencing is the one in the Muppet, the Muppet Caper, where they go to England and everything. They all these, and Kermit and Fozzie, and Gonzo come in, and the guy goes to them and says, well, I said, how much? I says, well, we got 3 ways to pay. 1, cash, 2, credit card, 3, sneak out in the middle of the night. And then Fozzie says, we'll take C. The guy goes, very popular choice. So, yeah, it's kind of like that.
Everybody else has the heist. You have, look, twins.
Yes. You guys don't look anything alike. Put on your hat. Oh, yeah.
Dumbass.
Well, I was a friend of your father's. Dad kind of liked you, too. So, yeah, I'm going to put this in the drawer and say, you guys are fired. And get that thing off my ceiling. Yes, I love the Muppets. Anyway, moving on. But, yeah, other than that, everything else has just been kind of quiet around here at the old homestead. Just staying home and, adding more pounds to an already pound configured body. But, other than that, it's not been bad. It's not been bad, just kind of quiet. And then of course I did the spinning wheel on Sunday, which the first time I've done it in a while, which I jumped on, and of course thank you, Mike, for listening. That was cool.
Yeah, we had you on. We were hanging out in the backyard, so I was like, "Oh, Ivan's on Facebook Live. Let me grab my Bluetooth speaker." And so I had you on blaring out in the yard.
Awesome. Yeah, kind of reminds us of the old times up at the park home, don't it?
A little bit, yeah, did.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time you do the backyard thing, I'll go ahead and I'll just go on Twitch and just turn on all afternoon. Unless I'll just go ahead and forget all that and just come over.
Yeah.
Yep. So other than that, no, nothing much else. Just a steady diet of Start TV, Channel 2 all afternoon. And me going out occasionally and just getting some air on the porch and just daydreaming about the next adventure. So yeah, that's it. That's for me. How about you? How about you there, Jeff or Mike? Mike?
We did we already, you were last.
The only thing I was going to mention is I did catch.
Oh, okay.
I haven't figured out yet. I haven't watched it all yet, but so I've been watching this thing on Amazon called Solos, and a little on the dramatic side, a little bit on the depressing side, a little bit, but it's been interesting. Like so far, the first 3 episodes are.
I'm hearing some kind of feedback. I think it's on your side, Ivan.
On me?
Yeah. When Jeff talks, I'm hearing some kind of squawking on your end.
So yeah.
Okay. How about that now? Now?
Well, Jeff's,
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so like I said, I've been watching.
You're watching solos.
It's interesting. I think it's like I said, I've only seen 3 of the episodes so far, but the first 3 episodes, they basically are almost encapsulated where it's just the individuals involved. But the first 3 episodes have been Anne Hathaway, Anthony Mackie, and Helen Mirren. And it's all based kind of like on past futures type stuff. And it's really just them, and the plot, that it's deep, but a little bit, it's at times a little bit sad, and a little, the first 2 were really good. The Helen Mirren one was just a little long. There and a few other people did them as well. I haven't seen the rest of them. So I would say this: the first 2 were really good. If you like Helen Mirren, certainly do that one. I don't know about the rest, but that seemed sort of interesting. And I did watch. I haven't fully watched it, but I watched a little bit of the Friends reunion thing.
Yeah, how was that? What was that about? Was it just all reminiscing, or is it an episode? Or
so it's them talking. So it's kind of like cut together, where it's them talking at times, and then them's with James Corbin, and then at other times they're doing other stuff, and then they bring in people who have thoughts and ideas, and it was a little. I mean, I haven't fully watched it. It was better than I expected it to be.
Kind of documentary style?
No, it's not really documentary
or so like a retrospective kind of?
Yeah, well, it's that, and they kind of like cut in between. Like they'll do like little quiz type things where they're talking amongst it, and then there's a crowd, and they have people that were there, and then they have sections where it's like I said, they have like a studio audience, and they're talking to James Corbin and or the guy from the late night thing, whatever his name is, that guy, the guy who sings with the cars and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then other times it's just kind of them talking, and then they have interviews with certain people where, it was kind of a big, for them it was kind of a bigger deal, or a big, or why they loved, other stars and whatnot, or people who were on Friends or whatnot, that kind of thing. And so it was like I said, the pieces I saw weren't bad. If you're really a Friends enthusiast, yeah, it's worth seeing. Me, I'm not that much of a. This is probably, honestly, I'm not against it. It just wasn't what to me, it wasn't what everyone else thinks it is. I'm not downing it.
No, you're not poo-pooing it as entertainment. It's just unless you were like really engaged in the series, you would get more out of it. Unless
Well, in fairness, when it first came out, I was. I mean, in fairness, when it first came out, I was in my. I can't remember if it was my junior or senior year of college. It might have been junior year, and it was. It might have been junior year, and yeah, so it was, everybody was kind of sitting around watching, in the dorm was sitting around watching Friends. I mean, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, hey, we're all going together and watch Friends.
It was monthly TV back then,
yeah, and it was the new hot show at the time. I mean, so, and, at the time, Jennifer Aniston was like the it girl right then and there. I mean, like, she was. Yeah,
everybody dreamt about Rachel.
And
how's for Courtney Cox?
That just figures. That just makes sense. Mike still remembering all those bad sci-fi movies that Courtney Cox did.
Yeah, it was. Was that Demi Moore or Courtney Cox was in the Master of the Universe movie? I think it was Courtney Cox.
Oh, that was Courtney Cox.
Yeah,
that was Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
And then she was with Michael J. Fox in Family Ties too, and I think there were a couple other really bad, like teeny, movies that she was in that she was like a.
It's not true.
But I thought, like I said, I don't know. I will say this: I saw something today. I can't remember if it was the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, where they said that the numbers for that Friends reunion thing so far are rivaling Wonder Woman 84.
Yes, I did read that. If that's the case, that's crazy. I mean, honestly,
At that point, those people should be literally sitting there going, okay, when do you want to pay us to do the movie, and how much?
I'm sure the fans have been clamoring for any kind of movie or reunion or whatever.
Well, I think if Friends came back together as a movie, okay, there's a lot of things you take on there. One, are you going to get the original cast members? Two, do you do it in the premise where they left off, or is it going to be a future premise? What are they doing now type of thing?
Well, you'd have to do it now, and you'd have to do it with the current cast. I mean, you can't,
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying that, because there are times when people do these types of movies that sometimes they'll replace a cast member or a couple cast members in the hope that that's going to pass, which more times than not they don't. But it's just so when you think about it, I think a Friends movie, might be something of value. I think it would be. I mean, it's been that many years, right?
I just don't know how you do a movie. The problem is I don't know how you do a movie. I think you could do something like a Christmas special or some shit like that, or something like that.
That, or you could go ahead and do a movie about how they came together, or before they got to where they became.
Yeah, then you got to go get younger. Yeah, then you got to go get younger actors.
Well, yeah, I'm just, I'm just picking apart this thing for a little bit, and.
No, I understand.
Yeah, so it just comes down to. Yeah, if you were to take on such a movie, just like you were saying, a Christmas premise, or even more funny, a Thanksgiving premise, or Valentine's Day premise. Just if you do it on a holiday premise, I can see it being something viable. But if you kind of go for the original slice of life thing that they did on the original series, I don't know if that would fly as high. Something to think about.
I haven't said hi.
Hi. I wish I was. No.
They bring, if they make a Friends movie, they'll have to put in and start Gary Busey
as the Carney guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they all go to the carnival as.
They all go to the carnival, and they get assaulted by the Beavers.
And the 80-year-old guy plays his large organ.
While at the Carney.
Seriously. While being stalked by Gary Busey. Yeah, there you go. There's a Friends reunion right there.
There you go. And then did they discover the attack assault Beavers along the way somewhere? Was that kind of a thing?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. So the only other thing because it was kind of a slow week. The only thing I can think of is, since we were last on air, was so basically MGM. It was funny, we talked about it, and then it happened. So MGM is now going to be part of Amazon.
Ah, okay.
So Amazon will own MGM. Now it's interesting because I guess a lot of the movies that we would really sit there and be like the old movies, like the movies that you'd sit there and go, the real MGM, real major classics, I guess those got sold off to Warner Brothers under Ted Turner decades ago.
And then the dross pretty much went to Amazon.
Right. So, but like things like The Wizard of Oz, that kind of stuff, that's
all the blockbusters are owned by Warner.
Well, the older ones, anything probably.
All the classic films.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm saying 1974 on back before the big shutdown of MGM. Yeah.
Right. I would say somewhere in the 60s or 70s is where Amazon will get films from, but they won't get anything like past 1960 or 70 somewhere there. So all the Rocky films will be in their hands. Obviously James Bond.
Right.
All of James Bond is theirs at this point.
And I'm
trying to think of what else. Technically falls into their purview. But those are the big two off the top of my head that I can think of.
Well, then you also got, because remember, we were also talking about this, THIS, this channel, which is powered by MGM, and of course the myriad of films that pretty forgettable, a lot of them. I mean, then you got little nuggets like Cadillac Man with Robin Williams that showed up on that channel and everything like that. I'm thinking they're going to be picking up all of these little movies along the way too. Because as far as MGM was concerned, by the time they created that motion picture, MGM was technically no more, and that's 1973. And because by that time, they pretty much shut down all the big sound stages. They started knocking all the big scenarios that were on the lots and the back lots and everything like that at MGM at that time. And Samuel Goldwyn then separated from MGM and started up his own enterprise, which kept on making movies to this day along with United Artists. So that being said, yeah, I'm sure Amazon's probably going to get the post-74 lot of motion pictures, with the deal that he's going after. But the only thing is that MGM was not as, the profile was not as high as it was back, before 1974 when, that's when it was still old Hollywood at that time. And that's when they could go ahead and they could build the huge sets and the glorious and the grandiose and the colorful and all of the stuff that you come to know as far as Seven Brides for Seven Brothers and Oklahoma and The Wizard of Oz and all of the movies by Busby Berkeley,
Busby Berkeley. That's that'd be my stage name.
Yeah,
Busby Berkeley. That's cool.
Well, Busby Berkeley was a very famous director. In fact, he was responsible for the geometric designs of dancers in his motion pictures. If you see any of the motion pictures directed by Busby Berkeley, they're evergreens in design and action. I mean, when you can get 100 girls, to make geometric figures while dancing to huge production numbers. I mean, he also was the one that invented the camera that shot from the top down. The dolly camera. That was his invention. And but anyway.
Well, no, I happen to have a list from MovieWeb. So interesting. Here's stuff that I did not know MGM was still involved in. Apparently, they are big in unscripted series right now, including Shark Tank, The Real Housewives, Survivor, and The Voice.
Right.
Are all MGM brand, and then other stuff, Handmaid's Tale, which is on Hulu.
Right. Yeah.
Fargo.
The
Fargo show. Not the movie. Something called Vikings that apparently is on.
Yeah, wasn't that on History Channel? I think.
Yeah,
History Channel. Yeah.
The Teen Wolf stuff for MTV is there.
Oh my god!
They did the revivals. Oh, here we go. Stargate.
Yep.
This could be interesting.
Well, yeah, because again, that was post MGM. Under Samuel Goldwyn, which
but the point being is that's an interesting possibility for them to restart as a franchise on Amazon.
Well, yes, exactly. I mean, it's got some nice things in it. You just have to shuffle through a whole lot of shit to get to it. But
I couldn't get into Stargate.
Really?
There are a lot of nuggets, but you have to dig deep for the nugs after post 74 MGM, because I know that post 74 MGM was also underwritten by United Artists, which was with them for a while. And I want to say Columbia had it for a short time, and then Disney had MGM for a while.
I don't know about that.
Oh, no, it's true, because when I went to Disney in 2009, it was Disney MGM Studios.
So, okay, here's Desert News. Let's see what else they say that is technically under. I'm just trying to see what other IP that they get from this. So let's see. Well, this is interesting because Amazon is in the process of developing a Lord of the Rings, and the interesting part is, the Hobbit stuff is all MGM.
Mm-hmm.
G.I. Joe was MGM. The Princess Bride is MGM. Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They list The Wizard of Oz, but I'm under the impression The Wizard of Oz is not something that they get their hands on.
It's because MGM has been such a commodity, and actually, aside from the big win in 1939 up against Gone with the Wind, once it got to television, it's relatively been elevated to cult status on television. It's been done and redone for television for years and years and years.
Oh, so here we go. Like, for example, okay, so other things that would now be Amazon's 12 Angry Men, Thelma and Louise, Silence of the Lambs, Fiddler on the Roof, it says, Dances with Wolves, Raging Bull.
Okay. I just saw Raging Bull last night. Great movie.
I'm trying to see I'm just trying to find, let's see, Basic Instinct, Legally Blonde, Poltergeist, Tomb Raider,
right?
The Magnificent Seven, Thomas Crown Affair, Pink Panther.
Okay, it seems like they're going back into the 60s now. Some of the 60s.
Well, there's been some recent Pink Panther, too.
Yeah, but, the Blake Edwards Pink Panther started in 62, which that was the origin Pink Panther when they started. And then, of course, Peter Sellers was the big draw on the Pink Panther movies. So, yeah, and that went on from 62 to about 70. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. There was Pink Panther, Return of the Pink Panther, and, others. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just looking to see, what kind of stuff they're going to have. I mean, like, from our perspective, to me, look, the most obvious questions become, I wasn't thinking about Stargate. It's funny, Mike says he did. Mike says he didn't like Stargate, which is really shocking.
Nah, I tried because I remember it being on. It was on Sunday afternoons on one of the cable stations when I was at the radio station back in the 90s. So I was like, all right, I'll try and watch it, but I couldn't. I couldn't get into it.
Well, it was an acquired taste because I actually got to see an episode, and it was kind of like
you saw one episode. Oh my god!
I saw one episode of Stargate, and it's just like okay. Well, oh well. It is.
Hey, look, Stargate to me. Stargate was the original movie was an interesting time frame because you were in an interesting moment because there wasn't a lot of there wasn't anything of note in terms of anything sci-fi for a period of time, and there wasn't Star Wars. Star Wars wasn't doing anything at that point. And,
I think it was just the sci-fi was a wasteland at the time, and here comes Stargate.
Well, I'm sorry, what? Star Wars? What? Star Wars? What? Star Wars? What? Sci-fi was what?
When sci-fi for a little while was a bit of a wasteland.
It was. He's not
the Sci-Fi
wrong.
Channel, yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about sci-fi in general. I mean, there's a period in the 90s where, in the early portion of the 90s, where it's like, okay,
we had TNG.
Yeah, but that's not a movie. I mean, it took them a while to get a movie.
We had Star Trek Generations was in '94.
Right, and before that point, there's a dearth.
We had Star Trek 6. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what year Star Trek 6 was.
There's a really long time.
I know there was a period. I know there was a period from about 89 or 90 to about 93.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what Star Wars people call that the dark times.
Right.
Well, I mean, look. So there's no Star Wars. There's really no Trek unless you're watching the TV show. And by that point, the TV show was off too, by the way.
No, Star Trek Next Generation ran from 87 to 94.
Right, but the point.
Okay, but it was the only game in town. But
yeah,
I believe that.
Yeah.
Right, it was only movies. I mean, not movies.
Right.
It was only TV. There was nothing in the movies. I mean, Stargate hit a good point where, really, there wasn't Star Wars. There wasn't any Trek movies, and
Star Trek. We had Star Trek 5.
But then, of course, maybe Stargate was just trying to ignite a spark.
So you want me to piss off Mike?
Back out again?
You want me to piss off Mike? I will watch Stargate. I will watch the Stargate series any day over anything that has currently come out from Star Trek currently.
I would not disagree with that.
Well, I mean, okay.
I wouldn't watch Voyager either.
What?
Voyager, not Enterprise.
Well, Enterprise was hit or miss.
None of
How
that.
about Lower Decks?
Lower Decks was okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I went at the end of what I said.
Where's my Captain Pike show? Damn it!
I don't know.
Gesundheit.
Dankeschön.
So yeah, I mean, Stargate's an interesting, especially with the Expanse ending on Amazon. Stargate is an interesting idea for Amazon. That'd be interesting. The other question is, it's interesting because keep in mind too, and I think this is the more interesting question is, you've got probably the two most prominent properties that they own now are that Rocky Creed series where, are we going to get a third Creed movie? I don't know.
I never watched Creed 2.
I didn't watch any of the Creeds, so I don't know. I just wasn't drawn to watch.
I liked Creed. Yeah. I never watched Creed 2. I haven't seen it yet.
The first one's really good, Ivan.
I like the first one.
One. You should see that. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will. Okay.
But the more interesting one to me is the fact that, look, Daniel Craig is done once this James Bond movie is out. So the question becomes, now, not only are you kind of in, okay, what's next for James Bond? Now it's Amazon owns James Bond. And I'm curious. I really am. I'm curious to see whether James Bond is still in the theaters or James Bond will be exclusive to Amazon or what they'll decide to do. Because there's so many options that you can use with James Bond, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a movie.
Well, do you think, okay, here we go, dating myself again. In the slew of spy movies that happened in the 1960s with Helm and with Marvin and with, everybody that, Roger Moore and all the rest of them that played, James Bond and everything in the theaters. Okay. And there were successful spy series in the 60s, Man from Uncle. I Spy, and a few others, Secret Agent Man.
The old Mission Impossible series.
Exactly. The Avengers, which I thought was really cleverly done too. Then of course my big crush when I was a kid, Emma Peel. And, but then do you think that once Amazon gets a hold of that, do you think maybe they might find it in their wherewithal to actually feature an all new 007 series or, something?
Well, that's the question.
Yeah, that's the question.
That's really the question is is it just going to be movies? Are they going to do other stuff with it? There's a lot. It would be
interesting. It would be interesting to see it as a series. We've always seen it as the movies. I mean, one right after the other. I've always seen it as I've never seen a 007 a real 007 dedicated series to television or to the streaming services. I think it would gel. Although, okay, you had Hawaii Five-0 back in the old days with Jack Lord, very popular show and everything. And then there's a new one that's out there along with the new Magnum PI, which is also out there. I don't know the popularity of those two in today's terms. Do you think maybe something like that, I think the viability of that is a big possibility, yeah.
I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting if, do you think, because, all right, here we go. The boomer populace, do you think that they'll lend into that whole thing? Oh, wow, we got a new series of Hawaii Five-O. We got a new series of Magnum P.I. Do you think they'll say the same thing to a 007, also, too, speaking of things that have been coming back again, I had the abhorrent pleasure of watching Tune In
abhorrent? With What's an abhorrent?
Abhorrent, just horrible, lousy.
Oh, you mean abhorrent? Okay.
Abhorrent. Okay, that's the word. I tuned into MeTV to watch Tune In with me with Toonie the tuna fish and the guy Bill who curates the thing. And I'm going to tell you something.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think we might have talked about this.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, and here comes the genuine over the top Jive and Ivan rant. Okay, and I'm going to make it in a small little bite-sized thing. They should not have done this because the live action sections with the puppet. The humor is lousy. The writing is lousy. It's campy. It borders on stupid. And I'm thinking, you know what? For all of these breakaway live action sections, you could put in 2 more cartoons and it would make for a great show. I mean, they do that on the weekends with the cartoons. I mean, they brought back Saturday morning cartoons and now they've brought the Jetsons and the Flintstones on Sunday, which, okay, dandy. But, yeah, this Tune In with me, I guess they're trying to recreate the, in air quotes, magic of the Ray Rayner early Channel 9,
right, like Bozo show kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it falls to me, to this guy. It just totally falls flat. I mean, no. I'm not trying to, make it nasty or anything like that, but I'm saying, people, if you're going to do this, you're talking to a whole new audience that's not familiar with the corny, campy, kind of, stupid humor that we were brought up on those television shows because of the fact that they didn't have the budgets back in those days, so they had to think on their feet, and that's what made those shows funny. But I just think it tries way too hard, and it just comes off as annoying. I'm just like, I'm done with this. Just, get to the next cartoon, guys. This isn't working, Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, MeTV, yeah, you need to get, that's just my opinion. Yeah, you need to get rid of the live segments off of that programming, or that whole thing with the Saturday, the morning cartoons is just not, you're just going to drive more people away than bring people to it, and besides, again, it's a whole new different generation. You're in a technology generation. They can just shut that off after 2 seconds and just say okay and be done with it.
Or they'll DVR it and then they'll just fast forward through the.
They'll fast forward to the live sections, right. Which it's a great idea, but it was just, to me, very poorly executed.
Maybe if they had Gary Busey doing them.
Yeah, or the assault gophers, and oh boy, here come the assault gophers. All right, they're gonna go after the host of Tune In with me. They're gonna eat the tuna fish.
Okay, that sounds wrong.
They can eat the beavers or the tuna fish, or both.
Yeah,
I said the tuna fish. I didn't say the beavers.
You said something about the beavers eating tuna fish, and I'm like, okay.
No. I said that it would be great with Gary Busey, and they could have the assault beavers come in, and then the assault beavers are going to say, "Oh, but here comes Gary Busey saying, oh boy, here comes the assault beavers, and they're going to come eat the tuna fish."
So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, MGM and James Bond.
Right. So there's that.
Tangent. Yeah, I know.
Trying to think of anything else this past week. I guess there's a story out there that Marvel may deviate from the original plans for Captain America 4 because apparently certain fans don't like that Sharon Carter is going to be a bad guy. Like, Jesus
Who cares?
Christ. Seriously. Well, okay. Apparently enough people that it got Marvel to move.
Stupid.
Possibly.
Oh boy.
Well, remember, when Falcon Winter Soldier started and Kurt Russell's son was U.S. agent and everyone was sending him hate mail on Twitter, he had to shut down his Twitter account because people are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
I don't want them tampering with my character.
Don't always give the fans what they want.
No, because if you always give the fans what they want, then there is no movie, okay, because...
But it's just it's a vocal minority of people who are complaining about Sharon Carter's role.
Except the problem is... Yeah,
the song goes like the Rolling Stones songs goes like this. You can't always get what you want.
So it comes down to this. It used to be, it felt like it was a vocal minority. The problem becomes there are all it takes is a couple people to create some sort of
Ivan hit his shield.
Some sort of petition. And the next thing you know, you get a couple people, and somehow it picks up speed. And the next thing you know, okay, suddenly
it's trending on Twitter, places. And then
it's trending, and then some of the comic book guys pick it up, and the comic book media picks it up, or the geek media picks it up, and the next thing you know, hey, guess what? It's out there, and that's the problem.
Oh yeah, because then it snowballs.
Yeah, and what's the other news? Oscar Isaac is going to be Moon Knight.
Thank you. Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac is going to play Moon Knight.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Moon Knight's. I know he's a superhero, but I need to look it up.
No, I know Moon Knight. I don't know Oscar. What's his name?
Oh, it's Poe Dameron.
Oh, that guy. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I guess.
Yeah, he was in that three. What was it that Netflix movie he did with Ben Affleck? The Three Bridges, I think it was.
Oh no, that was a regular movie, wasn't it? It was
on Netflix. It was direct to Netflix.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm thinking a different.
Yeah, where they steal the drug dealer's money. They're trying to escape with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different movie because I thought the Three Bridges thing was whatchamacallit's last movies. Black Panther guy.
So whatever with the Sharon Carter thing. Oh yeah, we're getting Loki already in about a week.
Oh.
Yeah. See, now he's got pussy. Here we got pussy. So John Cena seems to be in a little bit of hot water.
Yeah. There was a backfire. So kind of his PR plan kind of backfired.
Yeah, so my concern is
what's with this?
So my concern is, first of all, my understanding, I mean, it is what it is, but apparently there's weak reviews in China, and it fell 85% from opening weekend. And John Cena's embroiled in something that, quite frankly, I can see how he can make a simple mistake. The problem is unfortunately it's a big political mistake. And so now this becomes a hot potato. And my concern is, he's coming up later this summer in Suicide Squad. He's doing Peacemaker. And quite frankly, there's all kinds of talk that he's going to be back doing WWE work. So I'm curious to see if any of this will be affected now by what's going on with this thing. So
right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, that's it's crazy.
I finished my Colby.
Oh, how you doing, Ivan?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, cool.
I'm listening.
Okay.
So, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else this week. The Cobra Kai trailer.
Yeah, Terry Silver is going to be back as the villain from Karate Kid 3. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking for season 4 of Cobra Kai. I've seen actually at the round and about the last couple weeks, I've seen 2 or 3 people wearing Cobra Kai t-shirts. So it's coming back, man. Cobra Kai never dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think
wait for your shirt too.
The only other thing I was going to mention was apparently this past weekend, and I guess I'm sure people can find it. So I guess there was an episode of Teen Titans Go in which it featured, with their real voices, Marv Wolfman and George Perez.
Oh, nice.
Didn't they have a mashup with the DC girls?
I have no idea. All I know is that apparently... Okay, that's possible. All I know is apparently they did an episode where they actually had George Perez and Marv Wolfman on it. I did not get a chance to see it, but apparently it's a Teen Titans Go kind of thing. So,
cool. Try and find the YouTube clip. I'll bet.
Kind of cool. So,
that's cool. Yeah, a little nod to the one of the creators.
Through both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate because George Perez has got arthritis in his hands, and so it means we're technically not going to get very much new art from George Perez ever again. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because really, in reality, when we're talking about one of the biggest periods in the history of comic books, George Perez was the guy, and was for more than 40 years. So, to me, it's unfortunate. And the only thing I could say to that is, I do sometimes wonder because I don't know why companies don't look at him about writing, considering the fact I take it back. I know DC used him in the New 52 with Superman, and it got panned by some people. I thought it was good, but they did use him then. But I haven't seen him do a lot of writing, and George is a good writer because a lot of the stuff that we see in the Wonder Woman cartoons, the Wonder Woman movies, is all from George Perez.
Those, basic storylines,
Yeah, basic storylines, characters, a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that. So to me, like I said, I'm just good for George. I'm glad he was on. Obviously Marv too, but.
Have you met either of those two? At cons?
No, I haven't. I know somebody who has, but Marv for a while was kind of a dick and kind of had an egomaniac problem, but he's better. He's better than what he used to be. But I think that's all we got.
Okay, Ivan, where you spinning at, or where you at this week?
Let's see. I'll be what's the name of the place again that I was?
Matisse Salon.
The Matisse Salon in Jefferson Park. I will be spinning.
He doesn't even know where he's spinning. He doesn't even know.
He has to check his agent.
I have to check my agent.
I have to consult my agent. Yeah, man.
His Combat Beaver.
The high-capacity assault beaver.
Yes.
High-capacity assault beavers. No, nothing. Anyway, Matisse Salon in Jefferson Park on June 6th from 2 to 7. 10th anniversary presentation.
All right.
Of what?
Of the salon.
It's a celebration, a 10-year anniversary of your shop. 10-year anniversary, and I'm going to be playing blues. I'm going to be playing soul music.
And Ivan's going to get his toes done.
The pedicure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's
man.
right. Awesome. Pedicure, manicure, and of course, happy ending. Woo! With 60 get egg glow.
Whoa.
Well, Combat Beavers. There you go.
Well,
Jeff, you doing any public speaking or anything this week?
The only thing I've got going is Sunday night, ironically on the 6th, will be Sunday Night Stories. We do have 4 incredible storytellers. It is exclusive to Clubhouse, and so if you're on Clubhouse, look up the Steinomite Club and follow us, and you will find out about Sunday Night Stories. It happens 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, 8:30 Mountain, 7:30 Pacific Time. And if you're somewhere else in the world, just Google it because I can't help you. But yeah, we're gonna have we have 4 storytellers coming up for this week, and I'm excited because it looks like the week after we're gonna have 5 storytellers on the 13th. So we're starting to really get some people. I'm hoping that we can start getting more people into the rooms, and we're gonna make some switches around, do a couple things a little differently, and like I said, to me, it's a great time. It's a great way to end your week and enjoy some cool stories. And hopefully people will come on out and check it out.
All right. Cool, man. So that's it'll do. $1.50. 12 bits. $1.50, 12 bits. That'll do. So
I can't believe we've done that many.
I know. God. Jeez. Had this for 3 years? Just over 3 years?
Is it?
Okay.
Okay.
3 years, folks. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy, man. We're on Instagram and Twitter. We're on SOTRT Podcast. And, of course, YouTube. Facebook. Follow us on the Facebook page for the News of Squared showing up later. I think this episode 100 of News of Squared. I think we're going to end. You know what? We're going to have to take this to a vote right here now. I mean, do we want to reintegrate News of the Squared? Because it does get a little confusing.
Yeah, I think we should.
Just like maybe if we just do like 1 or 2 segments or whatever. Because people ask for it. Yeah, what's your podcast? It's Squares Roundtable. You do 2 of them? I'm like, well, kind of. It's sort of like a thing. We kind of broke off and switched. So what do you think, Jeff? You think we should just put it back in?
Yeah, we should just incorporate it.
Like pop the lid and just kind of stuff it back into the Squares Roundtable?
Well,
we just stuff it into the trunk,
The interesting part has been is that we really haven't had a lot of news lately.
Yeah, that kind of news has kind of slowed down. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of news has kind of disappeared lately. So that's one of the reasons why I hate to say it. It's like right now, it's like, at the time when we were doing it, we were literally going another hour to do news, to do wacky news stories. And so to me, I kind of laugh because it's like
the last couple months, that has kind of diminished. I think the Rona contributed to that maybe a little bit.
Maybe, I don't know. Or we're just not finding them or something like that.
People just lost their sense of humor.
Yeah. What's for dinner, Ivan?
Tuna fish.
From the combat
snack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a snack. Yeah, I'm just having it over wheat crackers.
Okay, cool.
A little topper,
All right, so follow us on the Squares Roundtable Facebook page, and of course, download the show on your usual podcast hosting platforms, i.e., iTunes, Google, Spotify, Anchor.fm/SOTRT, and Breaker and Overcast. Some of the other lesser known podcast platforms were there as well. And
which is
Jeff,
because we're lesser known.
Yes, we are very lesser. We can't get much lesser known than our status. Ivan's on Twitch.tv at Java and Ivan. Jeff is on all the platforms and places, Dynamite Productions. Mm-hmm. And email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks everybody for joining us here. Okay, one more time, I'm feeling.
No, I think you're feeling just fine.
Finish your chewing, and then you can give us the outro.
Okay, I'll finish my chewing.
Both sides.
Okay. Thank you for joining us here at the Squares of the Round Table, number 150. And, of course, the conclusion of News of the Squared as of this situation.
This week, I think this week will be the last installment.
This will be the last one.
100.
Yep.
Good way to end it.
Good way to end it.
Yeah.
So thanks, everybody, for joining us here at the Squares of the Round Table. We'll catch up with you on the last News of the Squared. And y'all have a great week. And if you don't catch up with us now, you'll definitely catch up with us later. But you'll definitely catch us like the plague.